a vlog today because Jake and I are road tripping from Houston to Big Bend National Park. This is something that we've talked about doing for like 5 years now since we moved down to Texas, and we're finally doing it. It is about a 10-hour drive, and today we're doing the first 7 hours. So from Houston to Fort Stockton, staying overnight at a hotel, and then tomorrow we are heading into Big Bend. So that's an additional 3 hours from Fort Stockton to Big Bend. And we will be camping in the back of my Subaru. So that's something we've never done before, and hopefully it goes well. I can take you through a little bit of our packing and our prep and bring you along on the experience, just to kind of, maybe make a guide for people who are looking to car camp for the first time, looking to visit Big Bend, looking for information on like what the road trip is like, and just for keeping my own memories, because yeah, I think this should be really fun. It's definitely a bucket list trip we have, and I'm excited to see how it goes, but a little nervous about such a long drive, but I'm just nervous anyways. So yeah, here goes, and I'll take you through some of our packing. Okay, so here is all of our packing stuff. As you can see, we've got the essentials. We have like all of our clothes, and then we have 2 pillows to kind of use in the back of the Subaru in case we need a little more cushioning. Those are actually stolen from the couch. And yeah, all the other essentials. We have Uno, we have our chargers, flashlights, a battery pack, freezer bag. Yeah, just all the stuff that we could think we need. Also, our rations include these Rice Krispie bars, which we have tapped into already. So Jake has packed the car / our campsite, and we're all set, about to get on the road. So we have made it to the La Quinta, and honestly, it was a long day of driving. Not that I can even talk, because I think Jake drove, well, we left at 1 and I drove for a total of like a half an hour. It's 10 now, so Jake drove for about 9 hours. I started driving after it got dark, and yeah, I just made it like a half hour. It was so dark compared to Houston, and like hilly, which is also different than Houston, so it was like hard to see the lines even with our headlights. And yeah, I just kind of got freaked out, so Jake took back over, which I'm so thankful for. He did, yeah, the lion's share of the work today, but hopefully I'll be contributing a bit more tomorrow with the driving. But honestly, with the way the driving was today, I was like, if I was by myself, I couldn't have done it, and it's a long drive. So honestly, yeah, just to emphasize that, like, the drive is hard, it's tough. Even with 2 people, but yeah, looking forward to getting some sleep tonight and then hitting the road tomorrow. I think we're talking about Marfa, and yeah, then obviously heading into Big Bend. So it's chilly here though, at least, so we're enjoying that. And yeah, the big part of the drive is over, so it's all up from here. Okay, we'll see how good the zoom is on this, but there's Jake filling up gas. Oh, just kidding, it doesn't have a zoom. Wait. Before we leave the hotel, I need to show off my sweater, which I'm so excited about. It's from Nuuly, and the front says National Parks, and the back says I Heart National Parks. So, all ready to go. Pete is dressed for Christmas! Before leaving town, we had to see the Paisano Pete statue, so we did that, and he was dressed for Christmas, which I was thrilled about. And then we took a little bit of a long way to Big Bend, because first we wanted to see Marfa. On the way in, we stopped at Alpine for some coffee, and then spent a couple hours in Marfa. So we made it to Marfa, and the driving is way better during the day. So we're getting some coffee, gonna do a little bit of shopping around, maybe grab a burrito, and then hit the road to Big Bend. But yeah, we made a little bit of a detour just because we figured we probably won't make the drive out to West Texas again. So yeah, here we are. We're at Mutual Friend Coffee and bobbing around Marfa now, and it's so quiet. As the car just drives by. We We did a little bit of window shopping in Marfa, but really didn't spend too much time there. Honestly, only a couple hours and we'd seen everything we wanted to see. We stopped again in Alpine for lunch and then continued to Big Bend. So we think our campsite is...
Oh, it's raining! Oh, look at that. Roadrunner.
What? Really? Beep, 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 beep. We think our campground is up there. Somewhere.
In the rain.
That was so much chaos. So, it looks kind of silly, but there's a method to the madness. We have an air mattress with some sleeping bags layered on top of it, blankets and pillows, and then some window covers. So that's where we'll sleep tonight. And more importantly, here's our view. And then in the front is all the stuff that we don't need while we're sleeping. So we have our clothes and our food. And then when we're driving tomorrow, we'll just put that in the back and fold the mattress up. And yeah, that's the setup. One of the big reasons we were super excited to go to Big Bend was because it gets so dark that it makes for awesome stargazing. And we were so happy that it stayed clear and wasn't cloudy. So we spent that first night stargazing and it was awesome. Jake took this long exposure shot on his phone, which is just like amazing. The stargazing was incredible.
House tour. Brave. It became smaller. How did it become smaller?
After our first night of carp camping, which I think went better than both of us were expecting, it was a little cramped, but it had its perks. Like, we woke up right as soon as the sun started rising and got on the Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive and were ready to go at Santa Elena Canyon super early and actually beat the rush there. The guardrails look new. We were joking here about how the guardrails look new because the roads were so steep, but for the most part this drive was very tame and easy to drive in a Subaru compared to what we would encounter a little bit later during our trip. I need a hat too. We made it to the Santa Elena Canyon Trail and we're gonna walk and see the canyon. Our last night was kind of cramped but good. We both slept decently. Anything to note?
I might dip my toes in here.
We might dip our
swim
toes
to
in.
Mexico.
Okay, maybe. We keep seeing this and then realizing that the scat belonged to these big, huge cows. And yeah, that was not the wildlife we were expecting to see. Okay, so from my understanding, not blocked by a tree, this is the United States here, and that's Mexico. We have made it to the Santa Elena Canyon. Would you say this was a difficult hike?
No.
No.
Not for us real hikers.
It was about a mile, and yeah, there was some climbing involved, but here we are. All right, guys, hello from Mexico. There's Jake in the US. His feet got cold. Okay, so we just did the Santa Elena Canyon and now we're taking the Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive back the way that we came and then going out to Terralingo, which is a ghost town, but also not a ghost town because there's a barbecue restaurant that we're going to eat at. So yeah, that was fun. We were able to walk into the Rio Grande a bit and then actually wade all the way across it to the Mexico side, which was just a cliff face pretty much. But yeah, it was really fun. And now we are taking the scenic road back. Thumbs up. Ornament unboxing from Terralingua featuring a javelina, which we haven't seen yet, but I have high hopes. So we never did see a javelina at Big Bend, but we did get some up close encounters with roadrunners, and I was just thrilled. These things are so funny and cute. And here's that off-roading I was talking about. We were both like so shaken up by this after getting out of the car. A little snug. We're going into sport mode for this hike. Going to Balanced Rock. So excited that our campsite is down in there. That's crazy.
And then we were going to see this trail.
So we just walked to the Window View Trail, which was only like 0.3 miles round trip, to see what it looked like here at sunset. So that's what the footage just was. Now I'm returning to the very dusty car to get it set up for camp tonight, but we're up here at the visitor center, and we think that we're gonna actually use the restroom up here, get in our pajamas, and then go down and have dinner and stay warm at our campsite because it's quite a bit colder tonight. And they have, yeah, a little more electricity up here in this bathroom than the one down at our campsite. But I'll try and remember to show the full campsite before we leave the space tomorrow. But now to set up the bed. It's so cool because we're up in the mountains, and our campsite is nestled down into this valley here, and the clouds are like touching the mountains. It already looks like it's gonna be a great night for watching stars.
I'm sure they're terrible for you, but
Carnudes. Again, this morning the clouds in the mountains were just so cool, so I had to take a little time lapse before we headed out on our hike. Last night we saw Window View from afar, but this morning we hiked the Window Trail to get down actually where the window is and that drop off occurs. So we walked downhill for I think 2.5 miles and then got to our destination. Once again, car camping meant we had an early wake-up call, so we got out there really early and had the whole Window View to ourselves. So Jake had a chip and we took some pictures, and I think we both agreed that this was our favorite hike of our trip to Big Bend. Packing up the campsite, finish our hike, and there's the rest of our campsite, by the way. This is just a parking spot, but naturally it's where we spent most of our time. Driving through a cloud casually. Alright, we are back on the road. We just left our first campground and we are now heading to our second campground, which is the Rio Grande campground. And we are also going to cross over into Mexico and grab some lunch there today. Hi, buddy. Oh, Wolfo, good eye. Visiting Boquilla was another favorite of our trip. We crossed the border at the Boquilla Crossing Port of Entry and paid a small national park fee on the Boquilla end, and we're free to explore. All right, there's our boat to get across. Although honestly, it does look like you could walk. He said it was 2 feet deep. Yeah, and this guy's walking the boat across the river, so. After a boat ride that was approximately 15 seconds, we got to Boquilla. When you get out in Boquilla, you can either take a car, you can take a donkey or a horse, or you can walk. And in no time, we were at Jose Falcon Bar, and we were having margaritas and grande burritos and getting all of our souvenirs. We ended our mini trip to Mexico at Topo Chico and beer, and then headed back to the US side. Hey, buddy. We got our new camping spot. Okay, we just visited the hot springs, which was our last destination for today. Now I think we're heading back to our campsite and going to shower and have cup of noodles, and yeah, that might be everything for today. Woo! Off-roaded. Thank you so much for coming with us to Big Bend, and stay tuned for our next adventure.